Hey guys, welcome to this video, which hopefully will serve as a one-stop shop of everything that you need as far as the information, a workstation setup, and even an actual example walkthrough that shows what kind of setup could you have going on that will help you process the entire AP exam fairly efficiently, okay? So here we go. We're going to go ahead and start and go through all of these slides that I have ready for you. And we're going to talk about a bunch of things. Let's first start off about room setup, okay? So clean a space for the test. Plenty of room, at least one day before the exam. Even better if you have practice in that specific space. Have good lighting, okay? Minimize distractions. So if you can shut the door, that would be very, very preferred for you to do that. Make sure the family knows not to disturb you. Put a sign on the door or whatnot so that they know that you are actually testing at that time and not to disturb you. So paper, you can have white blank paper or lined paper. I'm going to show you an example here in just a bit with just blank white paper, where each page of all of the blank papers are going to have your AP ID number. It's going to have your initials and also the page number reflective of that specific question at the top of each page. You're allowed up to 5 pictures per FRQ. So again, 2 FRQs, you're going to have a total of 10, but only 5 max for each FRQ. Make sure that you do have your computer, your calculator, and phone ready and charged, okay? Pens, black or blue, or a number 2 pencil. No mechanical pencils, okay? Dark enough to be clear on the picture of your work. Don't erase. It's wasting time. So just cross things out that you don't want graded. I would suggest a black pen over a number 2 pencil, and that's only for clarity as far as for it to come up on the picture itself. Let's talk about tech setup. Check your Wi-Fi connection. Make sure that your family knows that, hopefully to minimize their use during your testing time, okay? And organize your device. So whatever devices that you're going to be using for the AP exam, make sure that you know where files are of where you want to access them. Okay, label files to find it easier and so on and so forth as far as what folders you're going to put stuff in, and I'm going to walk through that example here in just a bit. Close all apps on your device 1 hour before the exam. Plug in your device during the exam. Okay, so plugging in your device during the exam is just saying, hopefully you don't have battery power that's about to die, and you want to make sure that it doesn't die during the test, especially your phone or your computer that you're accessing these questions from. Silence, turn off notifications on all devices. You don't want any distractions. Social media, text, games, whatever it is, email notifications, turn them all off. And prepare your online calculator if that's what you're actually using. I'm going to show you my setup again here in just a bit. Exam materials, black or blue pen, I'll reiterate that, number 2. Make sure you have a couple of each, just in case you run out of ink or just in case you break the lead, the tip on the pencils or whatnot. Answers, again, I can't reiterate this enough, should be dark enough to be seen on a picture. Thus, black pens are suggested over number 2 pencils. Test this ahead of time. So these interactive demos, make sure you get that practice. It's very, very critical. This is probably my 3rd practice now, just in this video demonstration, and it is very helpful for you to be able to seamlessly do all the steps. So again, no mechanical pencils. They won't scan well. It's too light. Okay, notes, books, calculators. It is open note, open book test, but it is not an open internet searches for or lifelines, if you will, as far as getting help. Okay, there are very strict policies on this. No shared folders. All study materials must be your own drive, not someone else's drive that they're sharing with you. So no shared folders, no Google Classroom folders. And if you just want to have a notebook itself, it takes a little bit longer because you're writing it all out as far as a small little notebook, if you will, but it helps you remember it as well, so that whenever you're taking the test, you're able to recall that information just a little bit easier and faster. And of course, bookmark your book if you're using it. Okay, so here we go. We are going to basically start an exam. Okay, this is the walkthrough practice example that we're going to do together right now. So the exam is on Tuesday, May 12th, 2020. And all the times that you see right here that are listed are all central times. So again, you need to make sure that you look at your testing times for wherever your location is and make sure that you're adhering to those specific times. but for instructional purposes, these are all central times. So 12:30, you're going to log in and go through your security checks. 8-character security code, and you should receive an email on Sunday, May 10th, 2 days before your test. And then you're going to answer some security questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to this demo, and you can find it on the AP College Board website, and you're going to look for this interactive demo, okay? And I'm going to do this demo and come back and refer back to these slides here in just a bit. So this is a practice. Notice here it says if you're doing the practice, your 8-character AP ID would normally go here, but for the practice purpose, we're going to go ahead and put practice. Now, it prompts you with the information that you're going to need. And this is that information that we were talking about back here. Answering security questions, putting your information in, so on and so forth. Okay, so we're going to get started and put our information in. So first name, last name, and you're going to know what my birthday is here in just a bit. So January 13, 1978. Yes, I know I'm old. And for instructional purposes, I'm going to use my email, my personal email, but you'll use your school email, whatever email you had set up with total registration as far as what you put down as your email account. Okay, so Master Jedi, some nerdy like that, and then Master Jedi gmail.com. Okay, so now this option, are you testing from home or did you drive to school and use a school computer? I'm going to go ahead and put home, and then I'm going to put I agree with these terms. Okay, so right here, this countdown, it's going to show you of when your test is going to start. So if you signed in at 12:30 p.m., this countdown is going to be almost pretty much 30 minutes, and it's going to go for a while, and it's going to count down until your test actually starts. Okay, again, this is just a demo, so we only got 5 minutes. Now I'll press continue here. And now what we're going to do is it says your exam will begin soon. Okay, so it hasn't started obviously, and we still have this countdown going on. Now your time will say 1 p.m. here, but this is a demo. That's why it says this 8:35 p.m. Okay, it says do not refresh this page or hit the back button. Please make sure that you understand that. Okay, you can review the following submission guidelines while you wait. Okay, so all of this stuff right here, as far as what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and refer back to this Google Slides presentation. The FRQ1 will appear at 1 o'clock. Respond to as many parts as you can in 25 minutes, and then we have 5 minutes to upload and submit. We have to submit our response, okay, on time. Incomplete work is worth more than nothing, so make sure that you submit everything within your time. Even if you're not finished, that's okay. We need to see what you have actually completed and submit that. We recommend having an alarm already set on your phone for 1:25 p.m. And again, this depends on your time zone as far as what time that should be. But 1:25 for Central Time, we recommend that you have your phone with an alarm that's also set. Okay, so it'll give you an extra notification of, okay, I got to start submitting my work right now. So students with extended time and accommodations should obviously have different alarm times. Okay, so yours will be different whether you have 50% more time or 100% more time. Yours, of course, will be different. Contact your AP teacher to get those times, to make sure that you are knowing when in fact you're supposed to. And yes, it's going to be already updated and ready to go on the College Board website. Okay, so let's go ahead and come over here, and we still have 2 minutes, about 1 minute and 22 seconds left, and then it'll pop up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you an example of what's going on. Okay, so real quick, before I begin, I want to show you what I have in front of me as far as materials are concerned. Okay, so what I suggest is have a blank or clear and clean desktop. Number one, okay, because this is where you're going to store your photos so that you can upload them to the College Board website. You see that I have an Inspire software right here on my MacBook, and of course, good luck and love you guys. And then over here, you're seeing I have my phone that's basically going to show you my setup that I have here. Okay, so let me show you over here. So I have a calculator, and some of you may have a calculator software ready to go. If not, more than welcome to use a just a handheld calculator. But over here, I have 2 stacks of 5 papers each. Oops. So I'm running out of power. So 2 stacks of 5 papers each, one for my FRQ number 1 and one for my FRQ number 2. You see the black pins, they're ready to go. And you see the AP ID is practice, my initials is tag, and then we have page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's already ready to go, and that is already done before you are testing. So when we go back here, let's see how much time we have left now. Okay, so question 1 has started. We're going to press continue. Now, even if I didn't press continue, this time down here will begin. So you got to know right at 1 p.m., your timer has already started. So make sure that you quickly press continue and then you move forward. So it says right here, your exam begins. You have 10 minutes. Again, this is a practice simulation. So we're going to have 10 minutes to follow the question, create a response, and submit it, okay? So you must attach or paste your response and then hit submit. I can't stress enough how important it is to submit, because if your reason as far as wanting to do the makeup exam because you weren't able to submit your work in time because you didn't press submit, that is not a viable reason for you to be eligible to take the makeup AP exam. So please make sure that that is not the reason that prohibits you from submitting your work, that you forgot to press submit, okay? And again, before the time expires. So what we're going to do is real quick, it says right here on exam day, your question will be displayed here. Take 5 minutes to create a demo. Basically, all this information, it says include your AP ID, which I've already shown you on my paper. If you're handwriting, we're going to include our page numbers, which of course you saw that I already had ready to go. And let's go ahead and then mention this. You will have a 30-minute and a 20-minute because you have 2 FRQs. So not this 50-minute one, but the second option, you'll have 2 FRQs. The first will be 30 minutes long. That means 25 minutes working, 5 minutes to submit. The second question will be 20 minutes long, 15 minutes to work and 5 minutes to submit. On exam day, the personal information page will no longer be, will be longer than the one in this demo. So make sure that you launch, again, 30 minutes before your test begins, okay? So now, if you see right now, my screen, this sub window, right, the sub video window is hiding this hide timer link, if you will. So I suggest that you keep the timer on there so that you're constantly reminded as far as what you have, okay? Like how much time do you have left? At 5 minutes, this will turn red, and it will basically prompt up a window that tells you, all right, it's time to start submitting your work. But again, I'm going to come back to my presentation. Let me move this down. And let's talk about some things. We're going to upload and submit these pictures here in just a bit because we are dealing with FRQ number 1, okay? So let's pretend that right now, and I'm going to go over here to this screen, I'm working FRQ number 1, and this is page 1, and this is whatever work that I have on page 1, and I'm working, I'm showing all my work, right? And then I'm like, ooh, I need another page. This is page 2. Let's say that this is page 3. This one's page 4. And last but not least, this is page 5. You don't have to use all 5 pages, but some students out there might write pretty big or might want extra room for their work, and 5 pages is the max that you're allowed to do, okay? So again, on these pages, we want to make sure that we have the AP ID, the initials, and the respective page number that you're going to submit in that particular order whenever it comes down to that submission time. Okay, so let's make sure that we are good to go. And yes, one more time, I'll say the extended time, please make sure that you've already handled that you've taken care of it as far as what should you set your alarm to, as far as that it will prompt you and show you. Oh, that's what I can show you as far as over here before I start submitting this work. And let's see, we have 47 seconds. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you what apps do I think that you should have. And you can see this is a bad part on my demonstration. I should have my phone fully charged, But here are the apps that I'm thinking that you should have that will seamlessly allow you to submit your work and whatnot and do this whole process very seamlessly. Of course, your Gmail app. So down here, your Gmail app, and then these three apps. You have a timer, you have your photos, and then you have your camera. Okay. One thing's very important that we were talking about on AP on an AP group in Facebook is that you want to make sure that this is set to live off. Okay. So on that, you want to make sure it's set to live off. And if you see from my timer, I already have two alarms, 125 and 145. And again, those of you with extension or accommodations, yours will be slightly different. Okay, so now this window popped up and you see it necessarily won't pop up exactly at 5 minutes. So this is why I suggest that you should have this extra timer on your phone that definitively tells you, okay, it's time to start taking pictures and submit my work. Because you don't want to do all that work and not ever submit your work in time. That's it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and press continue. And this is where the fun begins. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go to attach response, and we're going to do attach photos for this particular way that I've chosen to demonstrate to you guys. Okay, so attach photos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my camera and I'm going to start taking pictures of my work. So let me come over here and I'm going to find pages 1, 2, so on and so forth in order. And I'm going to start taking pictures so that I can submit my work. Okay, so here we go. Here's page 1. And again, good lighting. You want to make sure that you don't have any shadows per se that are covering your work and whatnot. So here's page 2. Here's page 3. And we're simulating that we used all of our pages. Here's page 4. And then here's page 5. Okay, so what I'm going to do is from here, I'm going to go to my pictures and I'm going to grab my 5 recent pictures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order, and I'm going to go ahead and send them to an email. So the email that I'm doing for demonstration purposes, I'm going to send them to Master Jedi, and I'm going to call this FRQ1, and then I will send. Okay, so as that's sending, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to, with the window that's already up, I'm going to start refreshing this email that I'm sending these pictures to. Okay, and I'm refreshing to ensure that, first of all, I receive these so that I can store them to my desktop. So again, I'm refreshing this. I have a blank desktop ready so that I can save these files to, and then I'm going to upload them. But again, you see right now, you want to make sure that you've practiced this so that it, in fact, there it is. Those FRQs are seamlessly as far as to download and upload to your actual AP College Board website window. Okay, so notice I use this button right here to download all the attachments. Okay, so whenever I download it, it's going to come like in a zip folder, and they're all going to be in that zip folder. Okay, so from here, there they are. So as far as the naming of it, I'll name the first one 1. Whoops, I didn't mean to open it. But this one is 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here to my email or my window, and I'm going to submit this as far as on here. I'm going to attach these photos, and you see that time, it goes by so quickly. So I'm going to go over here to the desktop, and I'm going to find those pictures. So I can either save them to the desktop, which I just realized I didn't actually save it to the desktop, or get them from my downloads. Either way, I will show you the downloads on this one. We have to do this one at a time, guys. So here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. and here's 5. So after I've uploaded all of them, I'm going to go ahead and press submit. Okay, so we have to press submit. Okay, don't hit submit until you've attached them all. But there, we have 20 seconds before our second question starts to appear. And for that second one, I'll download it to the desktop just so that you can see that demonstrated as well. But the downloads folder is sufficient as well. Okay, so let's let question 2 begin. I'm going to take these papers that I just took, the FRQ1, set them off to the side. When this window pops up, immediately press continue, because down here, your timer's already started. It doesn't start when you press continue. To ensure everyone starts at the same time, it's going to start whenever this time's already ticking. Now it says that it has already started. So immediately press continue to go on so that you can now see your question 2 information is going to be all here. Okay, so while this is going on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to refer back over here and say FRQ2 appears. Respond to as many that you can in 15 minutes because you're going to have another 5 minutes to upload those pictures. We're going to demonstrate that here in just a bit with 5 pages again. And then we're going to upload and submit. Submit your response. Again, we recommend that you already have an alarm ready to go for 1:45 p.m. Again, if you have accommodations, your times will be slightly different, okay? And then right here, wait until you get the exam complete screen, basically saying that you're good to go, okay, at the end. Do not close your computer. Do not stop everything. Make sure that you get that exam complete so it does show that you did submit your work and it actually was received. So submission times are when you hit the submit button, it will upload in the background. Do not close or refresh. Do not close or refresh, guys, your browser until it is complete, okay? And you will get a confirmation email. Okay, so now let's keep going through this presentation while our timer is going. Let's see how much time we have. So we still have about 4 minutes. FRQs, there will be multiple parts, maybe more than you can complete in the time given, but that's okay. If you don't finish a part before, if you don't finish, that's okay. If you don't finish a part before moving on to the next, that is okay. If you didn't finish part A and you still, I could answer part B or C or whatever, go for it. Do not get stuck. Right here. Do not spend too much time. Do not spend too much time on any one part, okay? Make sure that you're pacing yourself. And we've been practicing this all year, okay? Be specific with your answers, meaning of the value with units, okay? Make sure that you include those units over an interval or whatnot. Justification when prompted, okay? The default is 3 decimal places as far as your answers are concerned, unless otherwise noted. Within a problem, you want to have at least 6 decimals, but for the answer pieces, those are rounded or truncated to 3 decimal places minimum. So using a theorem or sign changes, so on and so forth. Please make sure per candidates test, per first derivative test, per intermediate value theorem, whatever it is, make sure you give that justification when you're prompted, okay? Do not rush. I know this is a rushing kind of video, but it's trying to give you all this information together in one-stop shop, okay? Do not rush. Do not sit and hope that it comes to you. Move on to another thing. It can get your brain warmed up or whatnot, get it going where you can come back and answer the question later on. Label the part of the answer that you are on clearly and make sure all of it gets on the picture image, okay? Don't leave any part of it off the image, obviously. This is the biggest change. I know we've been practicing PDFs. It was communicated to us that we could be using PDFs. However, that is not the case anymore, okay? So make sure that you are not trying to do any PDF conversions or anything like that. They have to be pictures like I'm showing you in this demonstration, okay? So make sure when the clock hits 5 minutes to start your upload. Again, it's a great idea to set a timer or an alarm. Let's see how much time we have. Okay, so we have about a minute before it starts progressing through. Okay, uploading your work. Right here, you will have access to this. We will put it on the Google Classroom, but these are other ways and forms that you can, that are like accessible or approved ways that you can submit your work. But again, right now, what I'm showing you is this recommendation 1 as far as the JPEG. Okay, just make sure that you know PDFs are not allowed. You want to make sure that they're JPEGs, PNG or JPG. Okay, failure to submit is not grounds for taking the makeup test. Okay, make sure that you understand that. Okay. And then we have College Board stuff right here. You can click on it, and it has other checklists that you would be able to go through as far as going up to the AP exam days before or even hours before. It's just another checklist that you can kind of make sure everything is taken care of and you're good to go. But again, a lot of this video demonstration is going to show all that pretty much. All these things are good checks, okay? So let's go over here to this last couple of them. College Board emails. Read the emails, guys. Read the emails. Go to AP College Board website to make sure that your setup is correct. The testing guide, these have been sent to you in various sources. Go through them. Make sure that you have this all ready to go. Video tutorials. We will have a demo. College Board will have a demo out on May 4th. Make sure that you understand this interactive demo that I'm showing you right now is available right now for you to practice, okay? Know your login, your password, your information, and an e-ticket will be emailed to you 2 days, that May 10th, before your test, okay? And last but not least, all big assessments. Guys, get a good night's sleep, eat a healthy meal a few hours before your test, make sure you get a bathroom break because obviously you see we don't even have time, and then have water accessible in case you get thirsty or whatnot. But relax, okay? That's when you do your best. Relax. Trust your training, if you will. Trust all the things that you've learned all year, and you're practicing, and you're studying, and you're going to do great, okay? So let's go over here, and let's look at, okay, so now we have 3 minutes left. So I spoke just a little bit too much, but now we're going to go back, and we're going to do this again. We're going to come over here to our camera phone. We're going to access the camera, and here's page 1. Again, I will just use, for the sake of time, 3 pages. So we are marking these, page 1, page 2, page 3. And again, all your work will be there where I put 1, 2, and 3, because I already have these labeled at the top, 1, 2, and 3, and so on and so forth, okay? But let's go ahead and take pictures of this. So again, we want to make sure we have a good picture where everything is included. No shade if we can help it. No shadows, that is. And then we have page 2. Again, black pens are most preferred. If you have to erase, just mark through it. Don't try to erase. You're wasting time. And then there's your third picture. Coming over here, make sure that you do not select the free response questions that were for number 1, okay? You're selecting the second set of pictures. I'm going to go ahead and again email it to Master Jedi. And this is, again, just a suggested method, FRQ number 2. Okay, so now I'm sending the 3 pictures that I just took for FRQ number 2. So we come over here, our email's already ready to go. We're just going to go ahead and make sure that we refresh it so that we can see our FRQ 2 batch of pictures. Go ahead and come on in so that we can submit those. So we have 2 minutes left. So I got a little bit better with that. Did all that in just 1 minute. So we're going to download them all. Don't download them one at a time. Just download them all in one big old chunk. And then down here, it's going to create another zip folder that has all of these in there. And you see them right there. So FRQ2, if I expanded it, and let's say that I named this 1. Now, again, you can leave it in your downloads folder. It doesn't have to be on the desktop. But for instructional purposes, I'm going to go ahead and show you what would it look like if we did, in fact, just click and drag these to the desktop, okay? So now we're going to come over here, and we're going to go ahead and submit these right here. So attach response. We're going to, again, go to attach photos, then attach a photo. Now we can go to the desktop, okay? So you see my documents here, my downloads that is. If I choose to do this, I need them. This is why I label them as far as folders, okay? As far as the way I'm downloading them in a chunk so that they will be in specific ones. But again, if you wanted to save it to that, you can. There's the first one. I'm attaching the second one. And then I'm attaching the third one, okay? And then I'll press submit. So do not hit submit until you've attached all of your photos. Okay, so I only did 3 in this case. So I'll press submit, and here it is. Here's the screen that you're wanting to do. Again, don't refresh or go back. And it says your AP 2020 exam demo is complete. Yours will say the exam is complete. And again, if you want more practices, just launch the demo again and just keep trying this. I would suggest at least 3 times, guys. This is my 3rd time. And yes, I've made the time on all the other times. And I barely made the time on a couple of these with this demonstration, only because I'm talking and I'm explaining all the things that should be going on as I'm doing all the work at the same time. Get the practice that you need, guys. It's 10 days away. We're almost there. All right, you got this.